Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Fantastic Four First Steps, which is directed by Matt Shakman and is the 37th film in the MCU, and it is also the introduction to the Fantastic Four into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, if I'm being completely honest, I wasn't too excited for this film. I'm really not a big fan of the MCU anymore at all. I liked Thunderbolts quite a bit, but outside of that, I have not really liked. I thought Deadpool and Wolverine was decent. I really didn't like Captain America Brave New World. I thought Guardians 3 was brilliant, and I didn't even see the Marvels. And I don't even keep up with the MCU TV shows anymore, so I'm really not that big into the MCU at all. And I thought the trailers for this film looked decent enough, but they didn't blow me away. It just kind of looked like another Marvel film to me. But I am very happy to say that I thought that this film was great. The best thing about this film, in my opinion, was the dynamic between the Fantastic Four. This is the first time that an on screen iteration of the Fantastic Four, in my opinion, has actually felt like a family. Although I consider the 2000s Fantastic Four films kind of guilty pleasures, I enjoy them for what they are. I know they're not great films and all, but the Fantastic Four in those films kind of just feel like a friend group, and I think Fan Force, it kind of goes without saying, but in this one, like, the Fantastic Four genuinely feel like a family. I thought all four of them were great in their respective roles, but the two that I'm probably debating on whether they're my favorite of the four or not is probably Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm and Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. Joseph Quinn was really good at Johnny Storm because he was great at balancing the charisma, kind of sarcasticness of Johnny Storm, but also being able to be serious at times. Whereas I'm not saying this as a knock on the actor, but Chris Evans as Johnny Storm in the early 2000s Fantastic Four. He was funny and charming at times, but at other times I think he's just kind of bordered on annoyingness. And Vanessa Kirby Sue Storm, she's a very well fleshed out character. She's probably the character out of the four of them who has the most layers, the one we probably get to know the most. And the character of Sue Storm, she's put through a lot in this film, and Vanessa Kirby perfectly conveyed all the emotions she had to. And I suppose if I'm gonna compare Joseph Quinn's Johnny Storm to Chris Evans's, I might as well compare the two Sue Storms. I don't fault this isn't a fault of the actress whatsoever. It's a fault of the writers and just the time they came out. But you just know this, but like the depiction of Sue Storm in those early 2004, no, sorry, not 2004, 2000s Fantastic Four films, like they're very much a product of their time. But in this film, Sue Storm, she's portrayed as a very intelligent, and she actually like adds a lot to the team. Pedro Pascal and Ebon Moss-Backrack are also great. I know I was giving the other two their flowers a lot, but these two are also great. Another thing about this film is that it's very well directed. This movie actually has its own distinct style to it. It kind of, I know this is a very lazy criticism, and it's thrown a lot of Marvel films, but like it feels like a real movie. Another thing is that the visual effects in this film are brilliant. Galactus looks incredible. This is easily the best visual effects in an MCU movie since Endgame. And like the whole production design of it, this retro 60s world, it feels very lived in. All of it looks real. To be honest, I wouldn't mind at all. And I honestly, if I had to cast an Oscar ballot today for Best Production Design, I would vote for this film to get a Best Production Design nomination at the Oscars. Another great technical aspect about the film is the score. It's been put all over the trailers. You've probably already heard it, but it's a really original score. A lot of Marvel scores are going to sound a little similar, but this one is really unique and not like any other Marvel score we've heard so far. And it's very catchy. It's been in my head a little bit all day. To get into a few negatives about the film, some of the jokes, this film isn't like jokes galore like some Marvel films, but some of the jokes in it are very overly drawn out. There's a joke at the very end of the film that just goes on for way too long. And whilst I thought it was funny the first time they did it, there's a reoccurring joke throughout the film that Johnny Storm kind of has a thing for the Silver Surfer. And it was funny at first, like if it was just one kind of throwaway gag, it would have been funny. But it's a reoccurring joke throughout the film, and it gets really old. Another thing is, I was just really a fan of Silver Surfer in this movie. I don't care that she's a woman. If you have an issue with this film because Silver Surfer's a girl, now grow up. But like Silver Surfer in this movie just felt very underdeveloped. She doesn't feel like a proper like character like throughout the film. It just feel like she pops in and out every once in a while. And they do something with her at the end where I suppose it is a little set up, but like it does feel a bit unearned. There's a good bit of stuff in this movie that isn't in the trailers, and there was a while back where like the runtime was originally listed as like 2 hours and 10 minutes, but like a week or two ago it started being listed as an hour 55, and that's what it is currently listed as. And I wonder if like this movie was originally meant to be a little bit longer, because I know like John Malkovich was originally going to be in it. So I wonder maybe like if the movie was originally a little longer and we got a little bit more development for Silver Surfer, we got to kind of no, she felt like more of a character within the story of it instead of like a character who like occasionally pops her head in. Another aspect of this film that I would have liked to see a bit more expanded is it's briefly touched upon that Reed feels a lot of guilt over what happened to the team, and it's only really acknowledged in one scene, and like it's never really mentioned again after that. Like it would have been nice if you had a whole like arc about that. Like it's not really known by the end of the film if he's like overcame that or not, or if he still is like burdened with all the guilt. Overall, I really enjoyed Fantastic Four First Steps. I think it's a great step in the right direction for the MCU. I think they're really getting their mojo back now with two great films in a row with this and Thunderbolts. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'm going to give Fantastic Four First Steps an 8 out of 10.